Welcome to the 2022 Winter Classic Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. Now, here are your hosts, Dan Olds and Addison Snell.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another 2022 Intersect 360 Research Winter Classic Invitational Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. I'm Addison Snell alongside Dan Olds. Dan, we're rolling. We're getting close to the end of the competition, but boy, I love checking in with our sponsors and mentors, and HPE has been serving both roles, and we've got another great guest speaker with us today.
Yes, we do. HPE has done double duty, both as mentor of the HPCG and LINPACK modules, but also as a sponsor of the competition and bumping up significantly our scholarship fund. So let's go ahead and bring in Michael Woodacre. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. Great to be with you guys.
All the way from the UK. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Fresh off a flight from Houston last night, so from our HQ.
And actually, let me tell the little story about the genesis of HPE being involved in this competition. Let's turn the page all the way back to November and SC21 in St. Louis. Addison and I, as part of our Intersect 360 24/7 fun, we were hosting a cocktail party. And I think, Michael, that's where we met for the first time, right? I don't think you and I had met before.
And Addison, I had met before.
You guys,
go back
you guys
25 years.
You guys go back into the dark ages of time. But Addison grabbed me by the elbow and said, "You got to come over and meet Mike Woodacre." And I said, "Okay." I did. And he said, "I just told him about the cluster competition. And as Mike said, we're in and we're all the way in. We want to be mentors."
Let's talk about that for
everything.
a second.
Yeah,
Mike, you've been a great supporter of this all along. Can you talk about what attracts you to the student cluster competition and why you think this is a good idea for HPE to be involved in, for you to be involved in?
Yeah, no, certainly. I mean, going back to the start of my career, or even before the start of my career, I was the first person in my family to go to university. And through that, education has just been such a great, opportunity, a great way for it. Certainly took me places that I never imagined I could go. And so when I heard about what you were doing, and literally I caught up with one of your podcasts just going into SC, heard about this competition, and it immediately resonated. And, it also, I came into Hewlett-Packard Enterprise about 5.5 years ago now with the acquisition of SGI, and HP, foundational to Silicon Valley and the whole philosophy of the company on, the technical excellence, the integrity. It just immediately this competition, and I've seen the student cluster competitions obviously over the years at SC, ISC, but the way you're focusing this to give a new demographic more opportunity, it was like this is a great plan. I applaud the work you guys have done to put this together, and just wanted to be 110% behind.
And
this.
You were, I would say, even up to 125%. Once you started socializing this throughout HPE, everybody seemed to just get it and get what we were trying to do.
Everyone's been on it. And I think, Mike, you personally were involved in some of the helping the teams get organized and get into HPE. Is that right? I know it's been a team effort beyond that.
Yeah, no. All these things are always team efforts. But I knew that I would get the support from, we have such great technical depth in our team. And I knew, again, I could convey that, what you're trying to do, and people would step up immediately. And it was like, it was more having to tell people, no, we've got enough, coverage here. So and the people that were directly mentoring and continue to be engaged with the students, they're world-class people. We've got
absolutely.
So
absolutely. And your module, the benchmarks went off really well and didn't have any problems. Well, the only thing we had was your mentors calling and say, "Hey, wait a minute. Tennessee State looks like they've wired the whole thing by making the problem set too small. Then we decide that's all within the rules, and that's what benchmarkers do.
That's what benchmarking's about, right? People break through barriers in all sorts of ways.
Yes. Well, in Tennessee State, that was the start of, they've been going wire to wire. They're still in first place. Now we're not done yet. The teams are in the middle of the final technical challenge and then heading into their judges interviews to finish out the scoring. But Tennessee State has been consistent and up on top. Held, and that started with a lot of the mentorship at HPE. Then we're looking at the leaderboard, and it's very dense behind them, second through sixth place. Man. Just a couple points apart. So a lot's really coming down to the wire.
To be more specific, I have not seen, I've been watching these cluster competitions and participating in some way, shape, or form since 2010. I haven't seen one that was this close between second and sixth. There are only 35 points separating the sixth team from the second team, and there's still 200 points out there to be nabbed.
Yeah, so that's not to say that they can't still grab first.
But that's true.
At this point, they're counting on Tennessee State to falter.
Tennessee State holds their own
they
future.
Have not done yet. I think they've been 97% plus on every. Without looking at the leaderboard, I think they're right up there on every.
Well,
I've been looking at that leaderboard and the stats more than the Premier League this year. It's
I hope you've been keeping up with our shows where we do the unveiling of the new scores.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating to see the trends across the board and the consistency of Tennessee there. It's great.
Yeah,
I guess that's the Man City.
That's the Man City, exactly right. Do you have your eyes on any of the students in particular you want to get onto your team?
Have you seen some of have you seen any of the student interviews? Because we have interviews with all the teams, and we'll have multiple interviews with several of them. That might be a place for you to start in your looking around.
Yeah, no, well, we're always looking for great talent at HPE, and this, well, we want to, improve the quality of supply to the industry in general. We're going to be selfish and going after the best ones we can find through this process. So that's the bottom line. Is we're looking for the great talent that this competition's bringing to the surface.
And, we've seen a real diversity of interest through these student interviews. Some of the students are really interested in a traditional scientific HPC workload, bring on the computational fluid dynamics. Mm-hmm. We've heard people talk about AI and machine learning is really sparking their interest. And then
some robotics,
robotics, software, cybersecurity. We've heard all of this in these interviews, and HPE is a company that gets involved in all these areas.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm focused on HPC and AI, but we've got opportunity all over the company. I mean, it's a target-rich environment for opportunity, and the more talent we can get, the faster we can move.
Well, I'll be putting together a packet of the resumes the students have submitted, and I'll get them out to our mentors and sponsors, and then it's going to be open warfare.
We're ready.
And like Addison said, some of these kids, a fair number, have already locked down jobs, which says something about the job market out there.
Yeah, it's really
unlock them with enough money, big signing bonus. Who knows?
Who knows? And I told them, don't make any more commitments until you see what comes out of this, because there could be some pretty good things coming out of the competition. The other thing, we would be remiss if we didn't mention once again how grateful we are to HPE for more than doubling up our Rich Bruckner Scholarship Fund.
Yeah, I know, Justin made that announcement when he joined you guys a few weeks ago.
Yes.
It's great. We think this is fantastic. The Bruckner Scholarship is, again, a great thing to get behind, and the industry just relies on, people like yourselves really, continuing to create a healthy ecosystem, create the inclusion, the diversity we need to make this industry competitive going forward. Because unfortunately, I look at the three of us, I've got Addison and I have got the gray hair going on here.
And I have little.
And I'm not commenting on Dan.
And what little I have is gray.
We've actually at HPE, we've been doing a lot of what we call domino hiring, where we're really encouraging, movement up the organization and getting new early career talent in. And again, that's why this student cluster competition is so important.
Yeah. And the thing that I find fascinating about this, I guess, is that, you go to the schools that typically participate in like SC cluster competitions, they have HPC curriculum. They've got HPC professors that are deeply involved in it for research, things like that. The schools that we're working with really don't have those advantages. And so many of the students, and I think from the student interviews you've been in on, Addison, you'll agree with this. A lot of them hadn't really heard of HPC before. It's just not on the radar.
Well, yeah, a lot of that goes back to just historically who had access to high performance computing. I did a virtual panel almost 2 years ago now on the effects of race and high performance computing and where were there inequities. And Dr. Jesse Bemley, who goes well back in this industry, has been foundational with bringing science and technology to underprivileged inner city youth with his joint educational facilities, talked about early in his career where the high performance computing resources would go into the white school, and then the black school would get some kind of line toward it if they were lucky, and there just wasn't as much access to it. And I think we still see echo effects of that, where there's just less exposure to the historically black colleges and universities and other minority serving institutions. In this case, we're also targeting Hispanic serving institutions. And, it's something that Dan started last year, and just we hope we can really continue as Intersect 360 research.
Yeah, I applaud that work. We certainly see when we get that diversity and inclusion in the room, that's bringing different views, ideas. It helps us have a much stronger innovation program. So, we're really happy, again, to see the work you're doing, applaud the work going on, and looking forward to hopefully bearing the fruit of that work with the first crop of students in.
These kids are hungry. You just need to train them up a bit, and they will have a powerful impact on your institution over time. Good stuff. Well, thank you so much.
With Mike Woodacre from HPE, sponsor and mentor of the Student Cluster Competition, our Winter Classic Invitational. Dan, I'm excited to see how it finishes up in the week ahead.
Tomorrow is a key day. They turn in their AWS open foam exercises. Then we have judging interviews the week after, and then a week from today, and today is Friday. So Friday, April 15th, we have the gala online award ceremony where we find out who did what, who gets what, and hear from some dignitaries. It'll be a fun time for everybody. It's the place to be on Friday, the 15th, starting at 4 p.m. Pacific.
I'll be there.
I will too.
Thanks
Michael
a lot,
will
Mike.
not, but thank you, Mike.
Good luck. Yeah, no, it'll be in the middle of the night, UK time. So good luck. I'm sure it'll be a great event.
We'll record it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.